Let me know in the chat if you can see and hear me okay before we get into today's question. So, question from the community about business questions as a projector. So we'll dive into the actual question once we make sure that the video and audio is working. Yes, thank you so much, Laura, for letting me know. That's great. Okay, so if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Carolyn Southwell. I'm a 2/4 emotional projector. I've been playing with human design for more than a decade. And what I'm doing in these YouTube lives this year is I'm answering questions from the community. So if you are somebody who's on my email list, and I can put a link to that in the video description if you're not on it, you can ask questions there. Or you can ask a question below any of my YouTube videos. And if it's something that I can answer in a video like this, that I don't need to see your personal chart, like it might be a more general human design question, then if I can see it's going to be helpful to other people and I haven't already done a video on it, I'll be happy to do that. So, and thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. That's great. Okay, so now that I know people can see and hear me, what I'm going to talk about, using my notes here to make sure that my undefined throat doesn't ramble. So thank you for bearing with me as I look down and help me stay on track. So I'm going to talk about growing your business as a projector. I expect this video to be the most helpful to you because I value your time. So let me tell you who it's for. If you're a projector who's fairly new to human design, but you're not brand new to business, so you have questions about like the nuance of how do I apply human design to my existing business so that I can make it grow and rock and roll and work better. So this question came in from the video that I had done on human design projector marketing tips. I'll make sure I link that in the video description if you haven't seen that one already. So the question that came in was, I want to expand my offers in my business and I am already being recognized for what I do in my business, but the offer would be new. So my idea is new. And I want to know, is that okay? Or do I need to wait for an invitation to offer the new thing here too? So I have a couple of points on this. The first thing I want to say is my experience so far. I wish there was one really straight textbook answer for this. There's not, or at least not that I have found yet. So my experience is that it works best when for me, when I have had a really clear direct invite from somebody in my community who already really values and recognizes me. So a long-term client or somebody who's consumed and paid for a lot of stuff over time says, oh my God, Carolyn, I wish you would offer blah, right? And if I get a yes, so as a projector, you need two things. You need an invitation, and then you also need for it to be a yes for you, following your inner authority. We all have slightly different ways of making decisions, projectors. So that has been my experience, is when somebody who recognizes and values my work says, I would love this thing, and then I get a yes, and then I create it, right? That is the most straightforward, safe answer and safest way to proceed. So if you are risk averse, or you are like really afraid of doing it wrong and it feels too scary to like experiment, or you really just want to like tread carefully, softly moving forward in business, that would be my suggestion. Now, it has also been my experience, and again, I want to read off these notes here so I can share with you really clearly. If I haven't cleared my own subconscious resistance to the next level of success, I will block that great idea from blossoming into something awesome. So whether it's, and the next point that I'll talk about is like, well, in what situation can you take your ideas and share them without a direct invite? So whether it is that you have a direct invite, or like I'll talk about in a moment, that there is a clear path forward. If you are, if you have too much conditioning that says it can't be this easy, I can't be this successful, I can't be this well recognized, I can't get paid this much, I can't do this new thing that my family have never done before. If you're holding those things, it doesn't matter if you have every single member of your community put money in your face and say, please create the thing. If your unconscious or subconscious mind that your body lives within We could also say if your nervous system says, that's not safe for any reason, then you'll block the thing anyway, which is why on this channel you'll hear me talk about deconditioning almost as much as I talk about human design. So if you need to understand more about deconditioning, let me know in the comments, and I can create some more content on that. So the third thing here that I want to say before we wrap up is that I have a sense, it has not been my direct experience because I've had too many blocks to work through. If you ever want to know why I'm obsessed with deconditioning, is because I've had to do a lot of deconditioning. But my sense is that when you can see, and if this was you who asked the question, or this feels like it applies to you, when you can see that enough of your audience needs a particular thing, and that's your idea. So in the case of this person who asked this question, they said, I want to expand my offers, and the offer would be new. This idea would be new. But here's my really strong sense beyond my own conditioning and what I've observed in other projectors is when you can see really clearly what your audience needs and your idea or your offer would solve that need, and then you feel into it for yourself and you can't find any unconscious, subconscious blocks. There's no unresolved trauma that's getting poked. The idea of sharing the thing with your audience doesn't cause you to feel triggered or unsafe. It just feels really solid and grounded and good and correct. Then my suggestion is to experiment, especially if you are a third line profile or a 6-line profile, because you guys have to just try shit out, right? Or if you're somebody like me who has lots of 3s and lots of 6s in your design, and if you don't know what these things mean, then you can ask me in a comment and I'll do a video on it specifically. Then try. But my very strong suggestion, anytime you're experimenting with anything in human design, is unless you have a really high risk tolerance and you're happy to have a life experience that does this, then try taking tiny risks, right? You do you. You think about what makes the most sense for your life, and all the things about you, because I don't know you. You know you. You're in your life. So you need to take actions that you're happy with and you can live with. But try. How can I do? Ask yourself the question, how can I do the lowest risk experiment here to see whether or not this idea or this offer that I have that I know my audience needs, my community, my people, my students, my clients, whoever your people are, how can you do the lowest risk experiment? And giving yourself the grace and the space to fail and to learn something in the process. And maybe it will be wildly successful. Although, if you have lots of 3s and 6s in your design, or you're a 3rd or a 6-line profile, you learn through all the things that don't work. So don't expect it to work beautifully the first time. If that's your design, you're going to learn through multiple iterations. Okay. The other thing I want to say is there's certain lines that jump out at me with these things. So if you are a 1st-line profile, that is you have a 1 in your profile, or you have lots of 1s in your design, you might feel like this is really correct for you, but you might not feel safe until you've done a lot of investigating. So do you need to really quiz your audience a lot? Or do you need to go through maybe you run an online community and you need to look at look through the posts and the comments and be really, really clear when you analyze the data, this person's saying this and this person's asking for it again and this person's asking for it again. Because if you are a 1st-line human, then you are going to feel safer to experiment and to take that step, that risk, if you have enough information that says, yes, my people need this. This is what I know as the person who is leading and guiding them. They need next, and they don't know how to ask for it, but I know they need it, so I'm going to provide it. Okay? As always, please, please, please take responsibility for whatever decisions that you decide to make in relation to your business. It is your business and your life. Only you know all of the subtle and not so subtle, and all of the various um, aspects of your life that I can't know on the other side of the screen. So have a play, have a think about what I've said. If you have any further or ongoing questions from that, or any questions about anything else that you think I can answer in this format, then I'd love to see them in the comments. I hope you're well.